Thank you so much for purchasing this Photoshop Action. So we are going to apply the T&O Cinematic Photoshop Action on this image. So in order to apply this Photoshop Action on any image, what you need to do, first of all, you need to have the background layer. If it is something like this, layer 0, layer 1, layer 5 or anything else, this Photoshop Action will not work. So what you can do to make it fix, so you can easily go to the layer and select new and select background from layer, and this way we'll be having this layer turned as a background layer. And you have to make sure that there is no other layer available at this time when you apply this Photoshop Action. Okay, so once you have prepared your image, now you need to load this Photoshop Action. So in order to load this Photoshop Action, what you need to do, go to the Windows and select Actions, and once you have selected the actions, come over here on this icon and select this, and then choose Load Actions and browse the folder T&O Cinematic Look Harshvardhan Art, which you have downloaded after you have purchased it, and just open it and select this T&O Cinematic Look ATN file. So this is .atn file, and select load, and the moment you will select it, it would appear over here. I have already this one, so I got the another one as well. So I need to select this one, the first file inside this folder. I need to press the play button only, and it will take some time, and once it is finished, now we'll start working on this image. So we'll select the first dark layer and click this eye icon to make it visible, and you can see at the moment it has made this image way too darker, but this is not what we want. We want the model of this image, or model in this image, to be well lit. So what we can do, we'll take the brush tool with the soft as brush, okay, with 0 hardness and opacity around 20%, and we'll paint on the model, okay. Or alternatively, what you can do, you can take the gradient tool, okay, select the gradient tool, and from this gradient editor, make sure you select the black to transparent gradient, okay. If it is not over here, then it must be somewhere inside it, because this is a default installed gradient, okay, and select OK. And second, select the radial gradient from here, this option. If you'll select this one, it will not give you the result we want. So we'll select the radial gradient and select it, and click on the middle of the image and drag it outside, okay, and that way our model's face would be well lit. All right, and now we can refine it even further using the brush tool. So select the brush tool, and with the low opacity and resizing it, and we can paint on the model, all right, or wherever there is a light little bit, okay. So in this case, light is coming from this side, so we're gonna paint over here as well, all right, and that way we have a well exposed image, okay. So this way, this will not affect the model and will have the better result. All right, so next move on to the second warm tone. So moment we'll select it, it will apply or give the warm tone to the skin instantly. But if you want to modify it even further, or if you want to add or subtract it, what you need to do, you need to select this hand tool, select the hand tool, and take a sample from the skin, okay. So in this case, it's selected, and it would automatically select the color which is available in the skin. So in this case, it has selected the red color, which is over here. You can see it has selected this color from this to this, all right. And now you can increase the saturation if you want, or you can lower down the saturation, as per your own liking, but I like the warmer tones or richer tones, so I'll go for plus 45 for this image. Alright, and now let's move on to the third one. So we'll select it, and here we don't need to do anything, but if you want to have the lesser effect, then you can lower down its opacity, okay, according to your own liking. Alright, so you can adjust these as well, and then we'll select the second one, grade 1, and it would also apply the color grading to our image. And again, you can lower down its opacity to make the adjustment to your liking. Okay, so in this case I'll go for, I think, 68%. And now let's move on to the next layer, that is the vignette effect. So select this, and it is going to make the image a lot darker. So again, we'll apply the same formula over here using the gradient tool. We'll refine it. So we'll select the gradient tool and make sure you select the mask over here. If you apply the gradient tool over here, then it will not work. Okay, so I'll select the vignette effect, mask, and select the gradient tool. Again, we'll select the black to transparent gradient and press OK, and this time again click and drag it outside. Okay, and it is going to remove this effect from here. So we can also refine it with the softest brush. So we'll select the brush tool, softest brush with the 0 hardness, opacity 20%, and we will start painting on the model. Okay, or maybe somewhere else with the black color. Make sure it is the black color, otherwise it is not work. Okay, it will not work. Alright, and if you want, you can lower down its opacity as well. Okay, so in this case I'll go for 68% opacity. And now let's move on to the next layer. This is the final. Okay, and this one is the graded more. Alright, so select this, and it will apply this grading even further. So as you can see, at the moment it has made this image more darker, so I can adjust that by going to the opacity. So I can lower down its opacity so it has little bit less effect. Okay, and you can see by turning it on and off. Alright, so after you have done all these editing, just close this folder and you can check your result. So this was before. If I turn it off, and this is the look after we have applied T&O Cinematic Look-Photoshop Action from harshvardhanart.com. So thank you so much for purchasing this Photoshop Action, and if you like this product, then kindly do leave the review by going to the harshvardhanart.com or from anywhere you have purchased this Photoshop Action. And don't forget to check out my other fantastic products as well. So thank you so much. Bye bye.